Premium Media's Mining Weekly is speaking to Steve Phiri, the CEO of Royal Bafokeng Platinum, which has just reported excellent half-year results. Steve, it's great to chat to you in these wonderful circumstances of cash being generated. But I can remember it wasn't that long ago that you had to take a very brave decision on Styldrift. And you've had to wait for a long time. But it seems that your long-term division has really paid off. And you seem to now be in your finest hour.
Indeed, it was a very, very difficult and a big decision that we took way back in 2010 to start building Styldrift. And I know there would have been some skeptics who doubted whether we would succeed, and we have. But it was a journey not without upheavals, not without any pitfalls. As you would remember, at one stage, we slowed down the project, tried to preserve cash in a market that was going down so that we don't ramp up into a market that is down. We'd only ramp up at a time when the market was picking up. And indeed, the timing could not have been perfect, but it was at least better because we ramped up in a market which is quite bullish now. So thanks. The stars really aligned for us to start.
And it seems now with Styldrift, you're entering a steady state period. And it looks like this could prolong for another 30 years. This has got a 30-year life of mine, hasn't it?
Absolutely, yes. And we have reached, we're at that stage where, you know, when you ramp up a project, you can build a project, but that last 5 to 10% of the project is always quite challenging because you want to reach the optimal of the project. And every time little small things, not big in the big scheme of things, do crop up. And they did early this year when we thought this is a year for 230 and we're going to be ramp up to steady state. Then we picked up problems and some geology challenged us and we lost some IMSs and we had to rebuild those IMSs. But as we're speaking now, we have got 100% of IMSs and we are ramping up. And you'd have had Neil, our chief operating officer, saying in July month, we close to 230. We produced 207,500 tons. So that's great. We're there. We just there. It's just like a marathon. You're running and you come huffing and puffing. You are just at the end line and you're stretching your hand just to touch that line. We're there.
Your timing seemed perfect. Very well done. And now into BRPM. Also, you're going into the UG2 at a clever time to get that rhodium and to get the palladium out of there.
It's important to mention BRPM because when the topic has always been Styldrift because it's a brand new mine. But many people really are aware and alert to the fact that BRPM has been the chief sponsor of Styldrift. So without BRPM, we would have struggled to fund Styldrift. So BRPM has been the top performer. Even this half year, BRPM was the top performer, producing beyond expectations with the cost managed, the tons exceeding expectations. So and producing strong revenues because of its UG2. So things are going well. We really are proud and happy with the performance of BRPM. The big generation of cash came from BRPM.
Platinum Group metals are helping the world fight climate change. They're doing things environmentally.
Yeah.
Also, back home, you are talking about your own environmental stewardship where you need to be green and clean within your mining environment.
We are close to the end of our feasibility study to build our own green energy plant. So we are up there with the big boys. Somebody was saying that we are punching above our weight, and that's the intention.
What about your scope 1 and 2? Are you going to start reporting on those coming forward?
Yes, definitely. Yeah.
It was great to see you working on skills development. I think that's important.
Especially in a mechanized mine like Styldrift, you have got to develop skills. You have got to develop capacity. You have got to train people because that's an industry which is short of skills, short of people, and that is why there's poaching and counter-poaching in mechanized mines. So we have decided we're going to train people on how to operate machines, but not only operate them, but also to repair the machines. So in 5 years' time, I would like to say we would not be struggling with skills at Stellar. But PRPM is so important in the sense that we're moving into lower stocks of UT2, and those skills are also quite important because conventional mining is going to stay with us, even though there is talk about mechanization, but the geology of the ore body tells you what kind of mining method you should use. In a market where UT2 pays quite a lot, you cannot ignore those conventional stoping areas where you can produce the best revenue generating PGMs. So development of skills also PRPM, but digitization and innovation is important also, because when you talk safety, those things are so important.
You haven't forgotten the community. It is wonderful to see that you have developed a school for 2,200 learners.
Yeah, it's a combined school with a primary school and a high school, state-of-the-art school, and courtesy of the joint venture between us, the company, on a 50-50 basis with the Provincial Department of Education. That's where, again, public-private partnership comes in. We are excited with that.
And also coming to the party with vaccinations and hospitals.
All those things, we're doing, you would not even think that we are a small company. We are. We're building hospitals, we're doing vaccination centers, and those vaccinations are not only going to be for the employees. Yes, the first preference and priority will be with the employees, and once we're done with that, we'll be vaccinating communities. So yes. But I think, and I want to reiterate that it was important for us as an industry to rally together and do what we should do as a matter of moral obligation rather than as a matter of ticking the boxes. And our minister really did quite a great job for the industry and the country.
Well, what do you see going forward?
With regard to the market itself, in the next 7 years or 10 years, even more, we believe that the market will remain as strong as we're seeing it now. Prices will fluctuate, but do not fluctuate downwards in such a way that you call it a down cycle. But and on the back of stringent environmental legislation all over the world, particularly the big economies, which is Europe and China, and also America, which consume rhodium and palladium, we believe that the market will remain strong. And with platinum becoming the flavor for hydrogen economy, long term, we think that platinum will even overtake, in terms of appetite, palladium. So yes, the outlook for the market, we are confident that PGM is a place to be. I'm excited about the hydrogen economy. It's going to take a little bit of time, but the hype that you're seeing all over the world, especially in Europe, is quite exciting. So if you're not in platinum, you are late. You are probably late, because that's one metal that's going to play a big role in hydrogen economy.
Would you ever use hydrogen to get mobility on your mine, stale drift, and your other mine? Would you consider hydrogen to give you mobility?
Well, we're waiting to see our colleagues Anglo Platinum, how much they prove that to be working efficiently for them. But yes, we will do so.